This is the most exciting thing, I think. It's been at the forefront of what Knox has been asking for, a key critical focus on discipleship. Of course, it's in response to the last words of Jesus, where he says, "Go, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, the Spirit, and teaching them to obey." So obedience is the critical factor. We have been working on a discipleship process, a very intentional process that fits the urban city context here. So the discipleship process is, we believe, a really comprehensive, contextual process. At the heart of it is common worship. The church community gathered for worship. Worship is our most central practice. But we recognize that we are also following Jesus when we're not together. And so we're thinking of how might there be a shared set of practices. Some people call it a rhythm of life, a rule of life, a covenant community, a covenant commitment. How do we practice out this life of Jesus when we're not together on Sundays? Another critical component of our discipleship process is the small group relational context. We are convinced that community is the context where true transformation happens, where the call of the gospel gets worked out into the details of our lives. And those small communities are going to be a huge emphasis. Some people call them home church. We might use that term. We're not sure of the exact term, but those places where in a small group context that's very relational, where we learn what the gospel means for each of our lives, where we pray together, worship together, confess together, where we serve together as a small community. Another really exciting component of our discipleship process is what we are calling discipleship or formation Saturdays. We've discerned that there's 3 seasons to our church's life, sort of a fall season, a winter season, and then a spring-summer season. And in each of these, we're designating a single Saturday where we're going to invite the church to gather together for a day of learning, of worship, of fellowship, focused in on probably 5 different discipleship tracks in which people can learn the ways of Jesus. And then finally, we're also recognizing that because we live in a digital world, there are so many good digital resources that people can utilize on their own time, in their own homes, or on their phones, in transit. So we want to create and curate a stream of digital support resources that are going to help people continue and deepen their learning and their discipleship as they follow Jesus here in the city.